Hello, we're here with FM Mike Shahade, the manager of the Eastern Division champion Philadelphia Inventors. This is FM Mike Klein reporting for the United States Chess League. Mike, how are you this afternoon?
I'm fine. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Doing well, and thanks for meeting with us. Happy late Thanksgiving. Well, it's been kind of a weird season so far. You guys began not getting your first win until week 4, thanks in part to ties in weeks 1 through 3. But now you guys are on a roll. You've won 7 straight, and the last 2 have been by comfortable margins. Is it the pre-match pep talks you're giving your team, or what?
Uh, no, I don't give pep talks, but I think we solidified with no versatility in the lineups or flexibility, let's say. We made sure our board three, Dov Gorman, who runs tournaments also, we got him situated on board three.
I see. Now, well, how nice was it for your team to win the first 2 games this past week against the Applesauce to close out the semifinal match? Did you get to relax a little bit after that?
Yeah, I think so, yes. Yes. It was more fun. The whole situation, we used to play in this. The reason we don't have flexibility, let's go back to that. The flexibility problem is we have 3 players that can't be pushed out, and that's myself, Rick Costigan, and Carl DeMont, because we played in the U.S. Chess League of the 70s, which was a telephone league, and that's why that's why we have no flexibility. Uh, uh, Maybe next year if Doug was our captain or manager, whatever. But yes, it was pleasant beating Manhattan.
Well, tell us about those matches in the 1970s. I mean, the league has come a long way since then. I guess matches were.
Yeah, that was I think the last year we played New York in the finals, and we forfeited against them because we didn't want to play. We thought there was something that went wrong in an earlier match that they should have been penalized. But what happened? It was a telephone league where you had a runner and they'd run the moves back and forth. Uh, Otherwise, we didn't do anything special. It was mainly New York, and I think the first year the Washington Plumbers won it. I don't recall the whole league and how it went, but there were a couple years that it ran.
What was the name of the Philadelphia team back then?
You know what? I forget right now. So I don't know if they were the Mercantiles, the Philadelphia Mercantiles. I don't remember because our team is the Franklin Mercant. We play at the Franklin Mercantile Chess Club, which is the oldest club in the United States, arguably. There has been discussion about that through the years. Um,
And do your matches still take place at the Franklin Mercantile Chess
Yes,
Club?
yes, yes. We play all the games except one match, which we lost this year to New Jersey, where we had 2 of our players started with 25 minutes and 30 minutes respectively, and Sergei Ehrenberg lost the game to Strapinski. Obviously, when you start with 30 minutes, he's at a handicap. Board 2 started with 25 minutes. Will Fisher, who went 9.5 out of 10 last year, he started with 25 minutes and had more time left against Joel Benjamin than when he started, but he drew the game now. So he's just an amazing player in terms of how fast he can move. He's never beaten a grandmaster in over the board play, but in this or drawn, he said. This is what he told me. He's never beaten a grandmaster, but in this form of the venue, he's unbelievable. He went 9.5 out of 10 last year, and it's like a lottery for us. 2 years in a row, it's like getting Patrick Ewing. The Knicks getting Patrick Ewing in 1985.
Yeah.
Or getting the Miami's player getting first pick. 2 years in a row, we got Will Fisher last year, where we went 8-2, and then lost to Manhattan, yes, in the first round.
Right.
And then this year, we got Doug Gorman, who I don't know how strong he is. I was really pleased that he went 8.5. What 8.5, 1.5 this year? I mean, that's amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was pleased in the second round. He drew Robbie Adamson on board 3. He drew Robbie Adamson from Arizona with the black pieces. I thought, wow, this guy's pretty good. And I didn't realize that the only reason that Peter Menier didn't play is because I don't play. And that's the only way he could play. Peter Menier could only play if I played. And thank God we didn't have we don't have flexibility. Otherwise, you have to please players.
I see. I see. Now, it sounds like bigger cities like Philadelphia have a little bit of an edge because they're constantly getting,
Yeah,
random 2400s moving to the city.
yeah, we got lucky with Sergei Ehrenberg playing. Yes, that was a great. He's arguably what third or fourth best player in the United States, and a group of people. He's whatever. You can't argue with Kamsky and Nakamura as being one and two, whatever, back and forth. But yes, we had no having Dov Gorman just was it's like what a lucky break. And Tom Bartel winning the last two matches. That's a nice treat. And
Right. He's defeated three titled players in a row.
yeah, in the playoffs. Yeah, that's true. Two in the playoffs. Yes, yes. And now we got and Will Fisher plays in the board two for us. He won last year. I thought he was going to meet his match this year on board two, getting 9.5 out of 10 last year. He wasn't going to do that this year. Well, he's done pretty well on board two.
Well, let's talk about a player we haven't talked about at all this year. International Master Jay Bonin played 9 out of 10 regular season games last year and didn't play at all this year. Was that just because of the ratings, or is it some other reason?
No, okay, no, that's a little bit of a mix-up. Well, I'm like Eddie Chang. I'm in Eddie Chang's position. I just listened to your video with Eddie Chang a few minutes ago before you called, and I sponsor the team for the most part, let's say, and I did. Let's say that I couldn't afford Jay. That Jay was a little expensive for us, so that's why he didn't play. I thought he was paid enough, in my eyes, anyway.
I see.
My purse.
So it sounds like the two of the bigger benefactors of the league have been rewarded because you and Eddie both got your teams to the finals. So
Maybe.
a little return.
Sergey and a Kobe. I'm sure Seattle would have done much better if they had a Kobe in every match. They only had him 3 times, I say.
Are
Coming fourth.
are you expecting them to fly a Kobe and back out for the finals?
After the finals?
No, are you expecting a Kobe to be able to play in the finals?
Well, what would you think? It wouldn't be much fun, even if whether we win or lose. It wouldn't be much fun without him playing for them.
I agree. Well, let's go.
Always be. Well, what would have happened if Kobe and play? Because I feel we're not really not necessarily a favorite in this match because with a Kobe and playing, it's a whole different. It matters for them.
Well, let's go back to talk about Grandmaster Sergei Ehrenberg again. He's one of the few players in the league that has played every single game this season. He's now played 12 games, which I think is the most of anybody in the league. How comforting is it for a manager to have a 2,700 inked in every week?
Well, it matters for all of us. Yes, it does matter. He must play every match. That was part of the requirements. Yes, it was because we had a big issue last year. It's very comforting. Of course, we played in the playoffs last year without him. We started. I don't know if you've followed that, but we didn't have him in the playoffs last year, and we lost him in that.
I see. So it sounds like he's contractually obligated this year.
Well, so were we. We were. Yes, both of us were. We couldn't. If we had started out with a poor result, we couldn't just put him off the team.
I understand. Well, it sounds like you're singing the praises of Dov Gorman a lot. Now he's been unstoppable. He hasn't been beaten in 10 games. Aren't people above the age of 40 supposed to be a little out of form when they come back to chess?
I think he cheats in terms of he runs a chess tournament, so he's always in good form, I believe. I'm joking. I think he really is. He plays at a very high level. I can't believe his last game, how great that was. And in general, I'm impressed with his playing. He does run it. He runs tournaments, and I think I was listening to his interview where he took off for 12 years.
Right, long time.
Yeah. So he's certainly underrated.
Yeah, it's interesting. We usually talk about underrated juniors as being big helps to lineups, but he's an underrated adult.
Yeah.
Well, I know Bona didn't play this year, but between you, him, and Costigan in the lineup, do you feel like you're carrying the mantle for the Fisher generation?
I'm not the Fisher generation. I started in the '60s, so maybe Rick Costigan and Carl. I don't know if they were part of the Fisher generation. No, You said I was 66 the other night. It's close, but I will be 66 in a few days. But yeah, I like to be almost the old. I think I'm the second oldest in the league. So.
Oh, I didn't mean to shortchange you.
No, you can shortchange me. I want to be the oldest sometime. But I know Albert Capunga is the oldest in the league, so I didn't shortchange me. I like you being the oldest.
Well, I just think it's notable that you guys have let's see, 5 players on your team above the age of 45. That's it's an accomplishment making it to the finals with that age.
You mean the kids are better now? Huh?
Well, the kids have the low ratings. That's the thing. In a league dependent upon a rating average, having underrated people. Well, I guess you have Dov, so that's your secret.
Well, he likes the flexibility. I wonder how well we would have done with flexibility or versatility, whatever.
Right. Well, I want to talk to you about your decision to start International Master Richard Costigan in the playoffs. He didn't win a single game for you guys all season, but he's come through great. He had a win, and of course, in the semifinals, he could have pushed for a win, but the team simply didn't need him to. Well, did you have any second thoughts or any kind of ideas to start one of the other players on board for?
For you mean last week's match?
Oh, the quarters or the semis, yeah.
No, I really wanted him to play. He wanted me to play or Harlow to play. I wanted him to play. I definitely wanted him to play. He's playing. He's in pretty good form. Uh, what happens in the finals? It's another story. Who knows? I'll keep them guessing for a little bit longer. He's playing very well. I mean, that was a nice game he played. We didn't play last year. We don't need him. We went 8-2 without him. He didn't play one game last year.
But you're saying after not winning at all this season, you really had no reservations about starting him in the quarterfinals.
He has to play. He must play.
Okay.
Yes, if I tell him to play, he has to play.
I see. So it's truly like a sports manager and player relationship, huh? When the coach tells you to go in, you have to go in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I asked this to Sean Smith, the manager of the Manhattan Applesauce. This is prior to your match, but your match against the Applesauce in the semis. But you've played 2 games this year, which is a lot fewer than he's played. Do you feel selfish calling your own number, or what's the reason you only play twice a year?
I had to play for Menier to play.
Okay, so you were just trying to help out Peter Menier.
Problem comes in the fact that Menier can't play. Peter Menier, who's the 2400 players, 2430 or some number like that. He can't play if I don't play. So that's where I called my number. I had to play. I mean, I had to play because Peter doesn't play.
Okay.
And fortunately, with Dove going 8.5 out of 10, it didn't require Peter to play. And
Well, you've already submitted your color choice for the finals. I know it's still kind of a secret, but I'm looking at the lineups, and it looks like on boards 1 and 3, Seattle's Virgin Akobian and Joshua Sinan have just been lights out with white. Can you give us any evidence to suggest why you wouldn't pick white on boards 1 and 3?
maybe we'll beat them the other way.
So you just want a challenge, huh?
Maybe it's a bigger victory if we beat them the other way.
I don't know. When a team's going for its first ever championship.
What would you pick? Maybe you can help us. What would you pick?
Well, I couldn't come up with a lot of compelling evidence against this theory, so I was just wondering if you found any that I didn't find.
It's pretty obvious which way we're going. I would think, you have to please the good boys.
Right. When you've got a world-class grandmaster on board 1, I'm sure he's in your ear about what color he wants to play. Well, do you... Go ahead.
I believe they're going to unload what the colors are and the lineup soon, because I think that's allowed at some point.
Okay, well, we're having an audio-only interview, but if you could imagine Mike Shahade giving a little wink-wink, I think you've hinted as to what color you're going to offer. Well, do you care to hint at all at the lineup?
I don't know. Do I have to?
You don't have to. Can you at least tell us, have you decided yet, even though you're not going to tell us?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no cash payouts that your players can offer you at this point. It's already done.
Yes, it's done.
Well, lots of the championship matches in the past have gone to a tiebreaker. Which
That's fun, isn't it? Wow,
yeah,
they were fun.
which team do you think has the advantage if this one goes to a tiebreaker?
I don't know how good either of the fellows play. I mean, I don't know how good a Copian plays or uh, Ehrenberg play blitz. Uh, I've never seen him play blitz because that's what it's going to come down to, right? What is the time control? 5 minutes, and is there time is it 3 minutes and 2 seconds, or is it going to be a 5 minute? I didn't even look at that, but that's what it will come down to.
Yeah, I think one player plays another one, and if they win, they stay and knock out the other one, and you keep playing that one player.
Yeah, yes,
That kind of
that's
system.
true. That's
But
true.
I do not know the
Definitely
time
time
control.
control.
It's got to be a fast time control with all those
It
matches,
is
but
5 minutes. I think it's 5 minutes. And is there a second involved? You know, the second delay.
there's got to be 1 or 2 seconds, I would
Yeah,
imagine. Yeah.
that matters in terms of because they don't have to be quite as fast then if you have that second delay or 2 second delay. I think the international rules are 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
That
Uh,
that sounds about right. Well, if you guys come through, be it in a tiebreaker or in regulation, you got any victory celebration planned or anything like that?
I've had some victory parties in the past. Well, not so much victory parties. I've had them in our first couple of first year or two, where we just go to dinner at some planned point, and we didn't have. It all started on a lark. You know, we just wanted to represent the Franklin Mercantile Chess Club, like I say, the oldest club in the country, and didn't realize it was going to get so strong. The league is so strong, and so the eighth place team, Boston. I mean, they could win the league. If they beat us 4-0 in the final match, they would have had as many points as us. Um, Game points, that is, right?
Yeah, it was a very, very close
Yeah,
Eastern Divisional race.
I mean, that's a team that's one of the favorites to win the league. Uh, I don't know. It's really evenly. Everyone's so good. The amount of teams, and it is a shock that we won 2 years in a row by full match points. That's a really good result for us. Like I say, we got a lottery pick with Will Fisher and then Dolph Gorman. Um, that's amazing. I mean, the results they got 2 years in a row.
I agree. Well, you're the father of the commissioner, International Master Greg Shahade. I know that he won't admit it, but do you think he'll be rooting for you in the finals?
No, he doesn't root for anyone.
Not even his father and his hometown team?
No, he wants a 2-2 match.
But Ben,
He definitely wants a 2-2 result, which would certainly fun. There were a couple of them. I think 2 years in a row they had a tiebreaker where it went to the first board. I think it was Dallas. Wasn't it New York and San Francisco maybe 1 year? I don't remember the teams because it happened 3 times. I'm not sure. I should have this.
there,
Do you
there,
remember which teams there were?
and which year you're referring to?
There were, I think, 2 or 3 different years where they went to tiebreaker,
Hmm.
and it came down to like a final game.
Yeah, I think New York was definitely involved in one of those years.
Yeah, so Boston was involved also another year.
Um,
Yeah, Boston was. I
in two,
believe New York won 1 year, and Boston lost to Dallas 1 year.
I don't have all the stats in front of me. In 2006, San Francisco beat New York in a tiebreaker in the finals,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then New York won in a tiebreaker in 2009 against Miami.
Okay.
And I know there's been maybe one or two more. I just don't have all the
Boston
stats in
played
front.
Dallas 1 year, I believe, in a tiebreaker. Yes.
That was probably those years where Dallas won back-to-back titles.
Yeah. Yes, they were. Okay, one of those years in there.
Well, I can understand the commissioner definitely wanted the
Yeah.
excitement. So if we can't get Greg to admit he's rooting for his dad, how about can we get you on record telling us how proud you are of your son for starting this league?
Well, he's done a good job, I think. Um,
Well, here's the reason I ask. A lot of chess players have left the chess world completely for the world of competitive poker. Greg did not leave the world. In fact, he's come back to it more than ever with this league, with the New York Masters, and now with his return as a player. Why do you think Greg has come back to chess in so many ways?
Mike, the first time I met you was more or less met you. I think I met you on Passant before this was when you had a piece of Gregory's action in a live poker tournament. And then he ultimately found Poker Stars, and then Poker Stars, of course, we lost playing on the internet. and he went back to chess and whatever, and he doesn't like live poker. So if you recall, it was at the Taj Mahal. He,
Yeah, I think when I had met you again, it was the inaugural Borgata Open in
Got
2003.
open, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that was what it was. But then he played internet poker. And thank Poker Stars for sponsoring us. That's a nice boon to us.
Right, he has found a way, I guess, to merge both chess and poker, since Poker
Yeah,
Stars has been the biggest
yeah.
benefactor.
We thought with U.S. betting on the internet, it would not be it would go under. But the Poker Stars is still helping us out. Thank you.
Now, lots of managers have ideas for how they like the league to improve, and usually they have to send emails off, hope to get them returned. But for Greg, do you just tell him like at Thanksgiving dinner how he should improve the league, or do you have any kind of special access to the commissioner?
Unfortunately, he made sure he was in San Diego for Thanksgiving dinner. He's in San Diego as we speak, and I have to watch his cats.
I see.
Feed his cats. So he keeps anyway now. Um, Otherwise, I would have to give him some lectures. Yes, you're correct.
Well,
I think he's done a good job without my lectures.
it sounds like the Shahades are keeping things very above board, no special treatment either way, but I don't mean to suggest any improprieties. Well, you've been a resident of Philadelphia, you said your entire life, is that right?
I lived in New York a little bit, but otherwise, yeah. I lived in New York for a while. I lived in Staten Island, New
But
York.
but you've lived in Philadelphia for as long as I've known you, so how
Yes.
much you guys, you said you forfeited your championship match in the 70s in the telephone league, but so how much would the championship mean to you personally and to the local chess community?
I don't. I'm not sure, but I think it's fun. I think it's more. It's fun. Uh, I guess it means. I guess it means a lot to some people. Uh, well, we'll see how I feel. I don't know how I'm going to feel. It's fun getting to getting to it. The journey along the way, right? That's what makes it fun.
I completely agree. Do you foresee yourself managing the team in the years to come?
I would like Dov Gorman to do it next year. I mean, he has access to well, he has the touching powers to get to more players than I do. Running tournaments, people should get involved in his 30-minute tournaments, and that would be a way to get it on the Philadelphia team. I would maybe wrong, where our voice went dead.
Well,
Mike,
yeah, I'm still here, but let's just say in closing, poker players love odds. What do you think the odds are that the Inventors will be the 2012 USCL champions?
51%.
51. Now there
We're
are some
favorites. I say
there
we're favorites.
there are some poker players I know that would mortgage their house on those odds. So so be careful. Please don't be one of them. Okay.
No, I won't. I will just try not to put a line out like that.
Well, FIDE Master Mike Shahade, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. I know that you get a lot of enjoyment out of the USCL. I think it shows. And I think it's great that two of the biggest benefactors in the league, you and Eddie Chang, got your teams to the final. So one of you will have some very good return on investment in a week's time.
Thanks.
For our fans out there, the final match will be 4 p.m. on December the 1st. That's a Saturday. So please tune in to ICC then. We'd also like to thank the other sponsors, PokerStars and Chess.com. Thanks again, Mike, for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.